Hey guys, it's Misha here, and today I wanted to talk about calculating costs of building your own image editor versus buying a solution such as Polotno SDK. In this video, I'm only gonna be comparing the costs of building your image editor versus buying Polotno subscription, and I'm not talking about video capabilities because that is a more complex story. I'm going to cover it in a separate video, I think. And what's also important is that I'm only talking about the front end part. There is no consideration for building the authentication, user profiles, data flows, and workflows and stuff like that. We're only comparing the cost of buying a subscription versus building the front end part of your image editor. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So in the first section, we have build estimate. So first of all, we're trying to get a projection of what would it cost to build an editor. But the tricky thing is that there are all kinds of editors out there. Some of them are very basic and some of them are really sophisticated, very close to Canva. And we have all sorts of people who want to buy our subscription. And so I put those editors into three buckets: basic, advanced, and complete. So basic is something that a solopreneur or a very, very small startup with a couple of team members will come up with. It's very close to a proof of concept, something that barely works and gets the job done. That's it. Advanced is more of a story of a more established company. Perhaps that will include a bunch of different export options. The set of tools that you'll have would be more extensive. You'll have masks, maybe you'll have painting tools and pen tools and stuff like that. Perhaps you'll be able to plug in templates into that thing and work with templates. And when I'm talking about a complete editor, think of a very robust image editor, very close to Canva. Obviously not having a feature parity, but it's very, very solid, easy to scale, which is also a major factor because when you build a basic one, you don't build it to be scalable. Usually you just do it to push it out the door. And I'm also having a custom option so you can have a complete freedom to play with numbers and see where you can get. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's pick advanced, for example. Now we have to pick the estimation style. Like different teams play differently. Some of the folks out there are very optimistic about app estimates, and there's nothing wrong about that. It's just about your preference. Let's pick standard. I'm not trying to be very conservative here. Let's say standard. And now we have a breakdown of roles, meaning people that you would need to bring to this project to make it happen, along with the hours needed to complete this advanced version of an image editor with a standard estimate. And in here, you cannot change the amount of hours. So this is our projection of how much time this or that role would need to invest to come up with an advanced image editor. And the way I got these estimates is basically by chatting with ChatGPT and Claude and trying to come up with the estimates based on the different functional sets, again, to condense everything and to make sure that this gives you a high level understanding of what you're signing up for. I'm not trying to squeeze all the requirements in this calculator because that would be a mess. It will make the whole thing pointless. We're trying to get the lay of the land, a high level perspective on what it would cost to get there. And I've left hourly rate editable here because, well, Polotno SDK is used by companies from maybe 2, 3 or dozens of countries, and that hourly rate is going to be very different in India compared to the United States, for example. So in this case, we have this breakdown. This is what it comes up to for just building the editor. And again, you can change the scenarios, play with them, and maybe you want to go more conservative and choose that, or maybe you are more optimistic and maybe you will want to change to basic or complete. And that's how you can get those breakdowns. Now, the next stop, maintenance cost. In this scenario where we have an advanced image editor and standard estimation style, we believe that you'll spend around 60 hours per month on maintenance, which means fixing bugs, making sure the editor is working seamlessly across different browsers, different screen resolutions, improving behavior of undo, redo, all those little things that you normally don't even think about when you are using the editor. It's only when you're building it you have to think about, oh, this logic is taking a ton of time to implement. Anyways, it's up to you to play with hourly rate as well. And so in this scenario, all of those combined, here's where we get to. It will take you around 6 months roughly to build the front end part. The total build cost, which is a one-time cost, is going to be somewhere around 50K. The monthly maintenance with this formula is about 4,500. Obviously, you build it yourself, you retain everything, and you pay zero in subscription cost. And time to build the editor is 6 months. Now, how does that stack against Polotno SDK? With Polotno SDK, you don't have to build anything. You basically subscribe to the service and you are ready to deploy it right away. There is pretty much zero maintenance cost because you will have to report bugs to our community support section, and that's where we're going to take care of those for you. And the only thing that you'll be keeping in mind here is the monthly subscription cost, which depends on your unique situation. We have multiple plans. We have a team plan, we have a business plan for most of the organizations, really, and we have an enterprise plan which starts from $5.99, but that's more of like white glove service. Perhaps you want us to build some extra features. Maybe you need some dedicated support along the way. Maybe you even want us to build the whole project for you. So that's a very custom scenario. I would say look at $3.99 business plan as a baseline. And you can also see what that means in terms of annual costs and compare basically build versus buy that way. So one last thing that I wanted to show you is the custom path here. So if I pick custom, I'm getting rid of those estimation styles. And this is what I have for you here. You can add or delete as many roles as you want, but we have included the standard roles needed to ship a very solid not the complete editor, but a very solid image editor. So we put a bunch of roles here, and in here you can change hours and hourly rates and add roles, remove roles and stuff like that. So let's say you believe that it will take you 100 hours for your unique situation, and maybe you don't need a content specialist to come up with any templates. Maybe front-end developer is taking care of the entire project management. That is fine. So that way is how you can create your own scenario, and you can also adjust the number of maintenance hours along with their hourly rate. And time to build editor is basically, again, your projection, your own projection on where it's going to take you. And that way you can compare your own custom scenario with buying Polotno SDK subscription and see if it makes sense for you. All right, I'm going to include this link in video description, and it's going to live everywhere on the website for a while anyways. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, just hit me up.